Andrew is in. So, I do lots of live paintings. I did one last night. It was a guitar at an event, and it went for $3,100, which is a high for anything live auction that I've done. So, very appreciative of the people who bought that one. So, as you can see, it's pretty loud. Okay, I'm reading your comments. I'm just talking loud. So, because there's no microphone hooked up right now. So as you can see, Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie. And if you can hear, I don't know if you can hear or not, I do have some David Bowie music on. Since I don't plan on posting this on YouTube, I don't have to worry about copyright violations, which is the whole reason I started bringing in live musicians in the first place. So, but here we go. All I'm going to do is, you can see the sketch. Sketch is done already. What I do is I use a color called Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray, it's a very dark blue. So what this does is it's just going to, I'm basically going to redraw my drawing. If I was doing a live painting, this would just be a white canvas with a face drawn on it. I wouldn't have the background done yet because on the live ones I like to do them start to finish in one big shot. However, I don't plan on finishing this one tonight. I'll probably go till my battery runs out on my camera. So what I'm going to do is, if you see right here, I always work from black and white photos because I do it myself. But I'm going to go ahead and get started so we don't talk anymore. So, Payne's Blue. I'm just going to put it on this little paper plate here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to basically... Hi Tom. It was rescheduled. That's the one with Kristen. Kristen's not feeling well, so she's taking the night off. So I decided I've kind of got the fever to start working on this one. So here we go. I'm just going to redraw my drawing basically. And I'm also looking at a picture of him beside me. So the crazy thing is once I do this part, yeah, I'm going to try to move up the camera a little bit. There's not a whole lot of playroom in it. Let's see about that. Hey Jamie. So, this canvas is so big and I was kind of wanting to get a little bit closer in than normal. I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing. But I kind of wanted people to be able to see what I'm doing. So in case you're one of these people that just popped in, hey Erica. How's the light? I might be able to get a little bit more light over here. Okay. So, as you can see, I'm just working on his eyelashes right now. Like I said, this is such an iconic photo, an iconic face. Everyone knows this picture, basically. So, I think that's why it's going to be a lot of fun. But normally, I would make up all my own colors, but I think since this one is, like I said, so kind of legendary, I'm going to kind of stick to the original colors when I actually go in and start doing the painting part. Right now, I'm just going to redraw. So the light was better the other way, and I'm creating a shadow. Like I said, I need a... Tom, you're in photography and video. That's why I need someone like you here to take care of all this stuff for me. I'm busy. So these are just quick. Just redrawing it basically. So it's kind of like a sketch. I'm actually treating it a lot like a sketch. And right now I'm using my smallest brush to get these little detail places in. This is part of his, I guess, lightning bolt here. But when you're doing faces like this, yes, Tom, I need all the options you have. I need all the ideas. photography, video, sound, these are not my fortes, you could say. I need people to do those things for me. I need to hire Andrew, I need you as my producer. Tom, I need you on camera. Anyone got any sound ideas? I need you. I need lots of help here. This whole solo thing is just for the birds. So last night's event was a fundraiser at the factory in Franklin for an event called Denim and Diamonds for my kids' school. Wound up painting this really cool guitar that changed. The whole time I was doing it, it kept changing colors. It originally started out a red guitar on a blue background, but I decided I didn't like that. So now it finished up with a purple background. No, purple guitar with like volcano colors in the background. I don't know. Is the music too loud? I have to have music on when I'm painting, so if anyone has an opinion about the music, let me know on that one as well. Okay, so that's the small brush. I'm about done with the small brush areas. So now that was a smaller brush, I'm going to go a little bit bigger. And I'm just using this blue called Payne's Gray. So I'm going to go around and do some of the hair, since I can do this with a bigger brush. So, little painting tip, what I do is, when I have a lot of paint on the brush, I go doing the places that I need thick paint on, parts that are going to be black. Once I start running out, hi DD, thank you. So what I was saying is, when I first put paint on, I do the really dark places, but then when I start running out, I start coming in here where I need a little bit lighter, because I don't have much paint on there anyway. So like his little cheek is sunken in quite a bit right there, so it doesn't have to be as dark, but it just lets me know where that shadow is going to be later on. Then I'll load it back up with heavy paint, and I come back here where it needs to be completely dark again. Then once I wear out that paint, I can come back and start coming under here. So what this is basically doing is, I call it just blocking in my colors. Dark, that's his hair. I use up the paint, and I come here, his little temple, shadow on his temple, right there. And he's got like a heavy streak right there. Like I said, this is going to be really, it's going to be kind of really roughed in. And basically, this is just for my own purposes later. So, dark, dark, dark. Wherever it needs to be dark, just load up the brush and go dark. Then once it wears out, so this is his streak right there, his lightning bolt. Another way to do it, if you just wanted a big section that was light, this is a bottle of virgin tears. So you can just spray it on the spot, and then you just kind of spread it that way. So same effect basically, just lightens it, not as thick. But like actually, I'll go ahead and do this whole lightning bolt this way to make it easier, and his nose. So yeah, this is working well. most people are pretty familiar with this painting in the first place. And so here's his nose, the bridge, little scoop of his bridge of his nose right there. Right there again, around the front of his nose. Hey Kristen, had to go without you, darling. But I promise we are going to do this together. Don't worry. But this is what we were going to do. So in case you're just joining us, I'm just basically blocking in the face. Heavy black paint. Not black, but dark paint on the heavy shadow parts. And then I just lighten it up with water or just the dissolution. Like down here, there's a little neck goes right there. So what you're seeing is, I mean, fairly quickly, this is shaping up to a pretty good face. I don't know if y'all can hear this song or not, but this is Life on Mars, and this is one of my all-time favorite songs. So in case I burst out into verse, that's the reason. Sailors fighting in the Death Star. Look at those cavemen go. So if anybody wants to paint along at home, you're more than welcome. Or if you have any questions, I can see your comments as well. I have a little screen down here where I can see what's happening. Okay, so Payne's Gray. It's a very, very dark blue. I use this more than anything. I love it. So what this is doing, this is just... This is basically almost like a charcoal drawing here. I'm just going in, putting in the very, very darkest places. Strangely enough, my favorite thing to do is black and white charcoal drawings. As weird as that might sound with the way my paintings look, I do like black and white. So that's kind of the problem with this little step right here. I wind up liking these a lot, just the way they look. Yeah, so if you're one of these musicians who also would like to come play in the studio, you need to talk to my friend Andrea. She's going to be in charge of talent acquisition. She says she has a bunch of people already, but there's always room for more. We should play some Kristen. Ooh, yeah! Kristen. I will play some Kristen's music here in a little while. She gave me her CD earlier, but I don't have a CD player here. I could look it up on YouTube, though. Now, I introduced my family members to Kristen's music this week, and they are her new #1 fans. They will not be quiet about her. My sister and her husband say they walk around the house singing On My Mind now. Apparently that's their new favorite song. Toe-tappingly catching, I think that's what they called it. So once again, just... Actually, I'm going to go for a bigger brush on this part, because this hair can be a little crazier. Ooh, my other favorite song, Starman's on now. We're spinning all the hits tonight. So, like I said, a little bit bigger brush. Alright, let's see what y'all think. I'm about to turn on a backlight here. Let's see how bad it looks. Or a top light. Is that better or worse? Let's see. Let's try this. Maybe that'll work. Alright. That's not bad. So all I'm doing right now is repainting the drawing I did the other day. Now this is just like, seriously. Hey Michelle, did you get my email I sent you the other day? That lighting's worse. Let's start it off then. There's a big difference in what looks good here and what looks good on camera, I've noticed. This is why I need a lighting guy. Oh, you're not in Nashville? Well, that stinks. Well, anyway, I sent you an email about if y'all needed any more artwork to hit me up. So for people just joining us, this is calling this one Ziggy Stardust, the David Bowie portrait. And I'm just kind of giving an example of how I lay in my base colors and things like that. So most people are pretty familiar with this picture. Thank you, Michelle, for passing on that email. So right now I'm just kind of filling in his lightning bolts lightly. Tom, I'm all about any ideas you've got because, as I say, I can't be good at everything. I can't be awesome at just everything. Need some people on staff to do the lighting. Now, ordinarily, I'd have some musicians in here. I had Kristen Larkin coming in. If y'all haven't seen or listened to Kristen Larkin, you need to look her up right now because Kristen is awesome. She's amazing. Her songs are awesome. She sings awesome. She plays awesome. And she's just too cool on top of everything else. Y'all definitely need to go and check her out. This kind of reminds me of putting on eyeshadow, a very large eyeshadow right here. That's basically what I'm doing. There's a shadow that connects with the shadow from the side of his temple right here I'm going to get. And it runs down the side of his nose. And actually his little Harry Potter lightning bolt here is actually a little darker than the shadow of his nose. So I'm just filling in shadows right now. Now I don't know if y'all can hear the music, but Ziggy Stardust is actually playing right now. So this is like perfect timing. So I kind of like this stage because the background colors come through. Kind of a good look. Like some cats from Japan. What I used to do is I would do these paintings like this, but then I'd post while I was listening to music. Oh, because I have to have music on. But then YouTube will kill it. Kill the noise, kill the sound on it, because it's copyrighted music. So, I got around that by wearing headphones while I was while I was painting. But then it looks like you're not paying attention to people commenting. Google Music. Kristen, are you actually still watching? Kristen, if I see Kristen get back on, we'll throw in some Kristen music here in a few minutes. Little local artist. Support local artists, that's what I always say. Well, so Kristen is here. Hey, Kristen. Let's see. Well, if I had it queued up, that'd be a lot easier. Otherwise, I'd have to leave. Blank canvas. There'd be no one here, nothing here to look at if I want to go put her music on. Kristen, your ears may have been burning. We were talking about you. Okie dokie. So, this is basically just the first block in. Ha! Your ears are burning. I knew it. I'm glad everyone can come together over this. So this is kind of just like a block in right here. This would be the first step. Let's see. You're on Reverb Nation, aren't you, Kristen? Let's try that. I'll be right back. Alright. I wonder if I can play all of them. Does that work? Alright, now we got Kristen going. Alright, Kristen, you're on. So I'm just going to paint, listen to some music. Y'all let me know if that sounds good, if it needs to be higher or lower. Let me know how the sound is. Everyone buy this album. Show, yes, that's exactly what I do. This gives me better outlook on the shadows. Normally I would not use a color, but this is such an iconic photo that I'm going to try to stick pretty close to it. Because everyone knows what this looks like. So this is the kind of stage where artists don't want you to see their paintings. This is why people don't do live paintings, and this is why people don't have cameras in their studio. Because right now it's just, you know, it's not a finished piece. So what I'm going to start doing is just filling in layer after layer after layer after layer after layer. My paintings are extremely layered. And it's going to be really rough too. Okay, guys, the music we're listening to is Kristen Larkin. You can buy her album, or you can go listen to it right now on Reverb Nation. Kristen Larkin. She's awesome. I'm putting this stuff on a plate so I don't have to lean forward too much and block the view. That's why I'm doing this. I don't normally do it this way. In case anyone was wondering, crimson, magenta, going warm colors.
An open gate, an old dirt road. Whoever farmed this left a long time ago. I have come down here before
Orange.
to leave my promise on the forest floor. I will try to make sense in a world fraught with arrogance. I will be who I am. I will tread lightly on land.
So I'm kind of taking a break from talking, because I like this song a lot. So in case you're wondering, if you have any questions, just hit me up.
The hollow fills with April rain, holds the mist in like an old refrain. I can hear it as I walk. Sometimes I swear to God these words can talk. I will try to make sense in a world fraught with arrogance. I will be who I am. I will tread lightly on land.
So these colors you see right now might not even be here at the end. I put lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of layers on. So I'm never really sure when I start what color things are going to wind up being. But like right now, like I said, I'm just kind of blocking in my colors.
To make sense in a world that longs for answers.
Here's my brush. I thought I lost it.
I will be who I am. I will tread lightly on the wind, on the wind.
If Kristen was here, I'd be applauding her because I like that song a lot. So like I said, right now I'm just kind of putting in highlights. Shadow, shadow, highlight. I try to make the lightest spot on any painting straight up white. Makes it look like there's light reflecting off it. Although this isn't quite white I'm using, it's called Titan Buff. You hit white last, make it pop a lot.
Almost found too many times to dive right in. Sink or swim. Time has tempered my
Hey Melinda, see you joined in. Guys, Melinda's sister was just in a very tragic accident. If you want to check out her GoFundMe page under Melinda Robinson, you might want to check it out. They could use some help right now. She's my good friend from high school. Hope your sister's doing good, Melinda. Alright, yellow. Like I said, I'm going all warms here right now. Michelle, I wish you could be here to see Kristen play live. It's awesome. It's amazing. So in case you're just joining in, I am hitting highlights right now. Highlights and shadows right now. Once you get your highlight figured out, your darkest, you get your lightest light, and everything else just falls in between. It's just a matter of getting the right tone in between your two extremes. Ah, here's my new favorite song. It's a good painting song right here. Anyone who knows me well knows why I love this song so much. Yes, these are acrylics. Good song, good song. So right now I'm just putting in base colors, kind of get my dark to light figured out. It's kind of a scale, where everything kind of falls on it. Another good song. Spinning the hits tonight. Y'all probably can't see what I'm doing. I'm painting the hair, can you? Oh well, gotta be done. Hello, Jan. I still haven't seen you since you moved here. But no, well, not this. I actually made a D in art in college. The lady gave me a D. I didn't like her anyway. And then a couple years ago, I was given a gift certificate to a art class, kind of at Plaza Arts. And the teacher was showing us how to paint. And she didn't like the way I painted, so she actually took the paintbrush out of my hand and like slapped it down and said I was doing it wrong. So there you go. There's my art teacher story. Hey Dawn, hey Nash. Dawn and Nash, I can probably hear this is Kristen singing. So yeah, got a D in one art class and got the paintbrush taken from my hand in another class. I'm not even a problem student either. Ooh. But I had a good high school teacher. Doris Bills. So if y'all like this music, go download it or buy her disc. It's Kristen Larkin. I'll put a link in it one day. I think my dog wants out. Y'all go back. Come on, Carmen. Hurry back. Okay. The joys of home ownership. Dogs that need out all the time. So like I said, just kind of laying in colors. Yes, I'm up for wine, beer, anything, everything. One of each. In fact, that goes for anybody watching. If anybody wants to get a beer with me, I'm always open. Always down for a brew or 2 or 6. And Rachel's definitely going to need one after her class. What's up, Eddie? I saw a thing on here that said, "Who's your oldest friend on Facebook?" And I thought of you because I think you count. Yes, you would count. I've not known anyone longer than you. Since I guess we met when we were like 6. 6? That has to be the record. I can't imagine anyone I've known longer than before I was 6. So right now I'm kind of figuring out. Hey, tell Mom I said hey. Haven't seen her in a long, long time. Now since the old days, very old days. Hey Terry. Jane's in here too if you see her. Nothing, I'll say hey. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I take all these pencils and I'm going to redraw the face again. Depending on the background color, if it's light or if it's dark, I'll use a dark pencil or a white pencil. Hey Eddie, I saw your new house already. It looks good. Congratulations. Here we go. I'm wearing out my tips. That's why I'm switching pencils so much. There is a method to that, trust me. Hey, sugar. Alright, gotta try to find the dogs. Hey, Carver, let's go. Kimball, let's go. Upstairs. Alright, there's one dog in. I guess I can give you a quick example of how I would do a knife. So far you've seen fluid acrylics. So I'm going to use now, this is called heavy body acrylics. And it is, you'll see it's heavy. It's like there we go, it's like peanut butter. So, take a knife, thusly, and you just take a little, this is actually an official Bob Ross painting knife, but it's so old and it's so crusty, just being held together by tape. I love this one. So, get a nice big scoop on there like that. And let's see. Is it right there? Is that example? Gives a really cool effect, I think. Put some up here. So it's kind of just like painting with a knife. I like it a lot. It kind of gives my paintings the look that I like. It's really rough, really choppy. It's Clean living, Eddie. Clean living. So I'm just going to take some of that magenta, excuse me, the crimson, just mix it with some of that old orange I already had. I like a nice color. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just do a little red, just for shits and giggles. Hey, Carmen, get in here. Alright, had to get the dogs in. Alright, here we go. I'm going to do this as an example. This is red. It's called primary magenta, but it's really red. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a streak of that across his face there, just so you can kind of see it. Like I said, this probably won't even wind up being the final color, but it'll give it depth. It'll give it a layer. It'll give it texture. I'll keep going over and over and over again. And, you know, it might change completely. I haven't decided. You'll never know until it gets down to it. Now I'm just going to use up a little more of this red. I'm going to finish up here in a minute. It's a school night after all. So right now I'm just kind of using up the paint. But always something interesting happens when you're trying to get rid of paint. So I'm going to mix up some of this yellow, make a nice little orange to go there. Yeah, I'm about to wrap this up. I don't feel like squeezing out more paint. So, alright, we'll call this a night. I just want to get down here and get started on this because I had the fever. And we'll get a close-up here. So, as you can see, the shadow's kind of bad. I can't really do much about that. So there you can see, you really see some of the knife strokes right in there. And there's some of that red I just put in there as well. Like I said, there's a big difference between what lighting works when you're here working, what lighting works when you're trying to get a picture. So this is just kind of the first wave. There's the pictures I'm looking from. So there we are. First swipe at it. Well, if you're here, thanks for joining, and